One of the things about that early days in Xbox, it was this idea, it was this wild idea that we would go out into this hardware market and go, compete against, someone that had been in the market for a long time.
There's a lot of skepticism. When we were 2 weeks before we launched, I sat in a meeting with Robbie Bach where we laid out the final plans for how we're going to go to launch. And there's a lot of people that still weren't really sure if Xbox Live was really going to be the next big thing.
And there was a lot of stuff back then that was still, it was still secret. But as an employee, I could find out what was going on, and it tied so closely into the things I was doing outside of work. I was like, wow, I can't believe someone, sees this, sees the opportunity. I want to go be a part of it.
If you're going to try to win something and do a good job, the first thing you got to do is gather together a group of people, and there'd be people that are smart, innovative, and basically work hard. I mean, you can dream all you want, but if you don't hire the right people that can produce and finish what they, started out to do, the best plan in the world is not going to achieve what you want.
The big challenge of going after a market that they've never been into and doing something that there wasn't, their comfort zone, being software side and going into hardware along with the mix of software and stuff like that was really why I came over to Xbox.
We believed in what we were building. We were building it because it was the thing that we wanted as gamers.
At the time, it was just really a bunch of people who were willing to take a chance, willing to take a gamble.
Because everyone that was there was just a little bit insane and just a little bit crazy, right, to go and to want to come on board and tackle this market and be this thing that Microsoft had never been before.
We had all drank the Kool-Aid.
I had no idea what I was getting into.
I don't think anything was as scary as the day we first turned it on to real customers during the beta, people who weren't part of the team.
We had no idea what to expect, really no idea at all.
And now all of a sudden, real customers who've given us money, who expect a certain level of service, are we really ready for that?
We had a special little conference call we had to get together actually on Xbox Live launch day.
A bunch of us were sitting around a computer watching our kind of concurrent usage grow and grow.
I don't know if this story's ever been told publicly or not.
And at one point, it was like 11 o'clock or midnight, and the numbers kept going and going up.
And it's going up, and it's going up, and we're like, wow, that's more people than we expected.
And we're high-fiving each other and thinking, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is 10 times higher than we ever expected in terms of the number of users.
About an hour goes by. That's a lot more people than we expected. A couple more hours go by. Wait, that's more starter kits than we manufactured. Something's wrong.
At some point, we realized we actually had a bug in the way that we were counting concurrent users, and our usage was a little lower than we thought.
And we went back and looked, and there was actually a logic error, and we weren't correctly calculating for people logging out.
But the energy from that night and the euphoria of watching all those people come online, we actually had a couple people drive up to the front of our building and knock on the door after hours trying to buy starter kits from us because they were sold out in the Redmond area. So that was kind of the energy we had on campus that night.
So at that point there, I felt that we were off to a pretty good start, and the call drivers, the customer support issues were actually quite minimal for what we had. Sales were up really, really strong, and we could tell from the logons and seeing 1,000 people have registered accounts and 2,000 people were registering accounts, and people were online and gaming, and that to me was actually just an amazing moment, amazing feeling.
The time when we really nailed it was the night of Halo 2 launch. The launch was, at midnight Eastern, and it didn't take more than about 15 minutes until all of a sudden we saw a huge spike of people logging in. So people had stood in line, got their copies, and in 15 minutes they were home, had it unwrapped, and in the console, and were logging in. And I was sending out 30-minute updates to a huge alias that included all the Xbox Live team, a number of people at Bungie, PR, marketing, and people like Jay Allard, so that everyone would know how are things going. And I'm sending out these updates, and it's, things look great, we've got this many people on the service, next update in 30 minutes. And I kept this up for a while. And finally around 2:30 in the morning, I get an email from Jay, and he's like, okay, come on, really? These are all rosy and you're telling me everything that's great. What's really happening? You can tell me. I'm like, no, seriously, Jay, everything's fine. It's just working, and I can't believe how many people are logged in at 2:30 in the morning and playing this game. It's amazing. And literally, it just worked.
It really told me that we had built a system that really had what consumers wanted, and especially when you go online and you see all the feedback coming from. We get out and we read the various forums and websites and fanboy sites and those types of things, and when you see a lot of people saying, "Wow, this is actually a really cool system," I mean, that'll, along with that, as well as just getting online and playing with them, and you're playing with them anonymously. They don't know that you're part of the team that built this, but you know, when you're playing against somebody and he's just so filled with passion and so engrossed in his game, you know, and it's just, it's kind of like a feeling like a David Copperfield magician type feeling where they're so engrossed in the gaming experience, you know, that they're not thinking at all about the technology that went into building this.
I feel very lucky to have been a part of that group and to bring live service up, and my perspective on it was very different because I got to see kind of I got to have my fingers in a lot of different things and see the different perspective, not just from the technical side of the service and the features coming together and all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that people had put in, but to see it from the side of the business, from the side of the consumers, from the side of the game developers, from the side of our own service developers and testers and all the people that ride on top of it and the support people that all had to pull that together. It was very, very neat experience.
So the fact that we not only proved a bunch of people wrong, but we really changed an industry, and we changed the way that people fundamentally think about online gaming on consoles. And we changed the way that customers expect to interact. We set expectations about consistency, about the way lobbies should work, about how people communicate, is one thing that I'm really proud of. But I'm also really proud of the team we built and the experiences that we had together along the journey. One of the reasons why Xbox has been so successful is I don't think there's a group of more dedicated people that believe more in the product and the cause than the people that built Live and the people that built Xbox 360. I have guys on my teams that have Live tattoos on their body. I have people that go, you know, all their free time is spent in forums on their own trying to like help customers resolve problems and stuff. The people that built this product really, really care about the product and really, really care about the customers that use that. And I'm so proud just to have the opportunity to be part of that.